Okay, today we come with this public health concern, which most of us have heard of from the news or other media platforms, and maybe the people around us. And this is to do with the outbreak of the Ebola virus disease in Uganda. So, for starters, on the 30th of January 2025, that is last month, the Minister of Health declared an outbreak of Sudan Ebola virus disease in Uganda after confirmation from 3 reference laboratories, which analyzed samples from this patient who presented with symptoms that looked to be that of Ebola. So several contacts were still traced and identified who are still in isolation and observation to see whether they manifest with these symptoms or whether the samples they are drawn from manifest this virus as well. So the numbers keep on growing day after day, and it is a highly fatal disease. The best way to mitigate this disease is to prevent it. And the purpose of this video is to get to know about the disease and the different ways how we can avoid it or prevent it. So this Ebola virus disease is a viral hemorrhagic fever. Hemorrhagic fever because it manifests with bleeding in the later stages. But in the early stages, it comes with symptoms of someone has a rapid onset of fever, body weakness, muscle pains. Someone may have a sore throat, at times a rash, depending on the stage of the disease. Remember, the incubation period from when you contract the virus up to when the symptoms manifest ranges between 2 to 21 days. But on average, the book says within 7 to 11 days, the symptoms start to manifest. So they come with those minor symptoms and signs, but later on advance to the major ones, the nausea, the vomiting, and the bleeding later on. Then the bleeding, which I believe most people know about as a sign of Ebola, comes in a little later. So you shouldn't look for bleeding to suspect Ebola, because it comes in as the immune system tries to fight back and produce all those inflammatory mediators, the cytokines, the chemokines, to induce the immune system to stimulate it to fight the disease. So I've had people asking themselves, why is it called the Sudan Ebola virus? We have to remember that there are different species of this Ebola virus, and the name denotes to the place where it was discovered from at first. When you read more, you find out that there are some other 6 species of this Ebola virus. So when it comes to spread of this disease or how this virus can be spread from one person to another, remember the reservoirs of this virus are bats or are animals. So someone can contract it from an infected animal, from its tissues or its body fluids, whether it is dead or alive. The same thing from a human to a human. If you come into contact with those body fluids or body tissues of an infected human, whether they are dead or alive, you can contract the disease. So some of the highly contagious body fluids include the fecal matter, the blood, and the vomiters. Though some other body fluids are also, you should also take caution about them. And these include the urine, the vaginal fluid, the sweat, tear, aqueous humor, or any other fluid from someone whom you presume to be infected. So you shouldn't allow any contact, in other words. So we have come to the prevention of how this virus shouldn't come into contact with our bodies so that we don't contract the disease. Remember, we have been having tools here which help us to protect those mucous membranes of our bodies so that they don't come into contact with the virus, as they are the soft parts, as the president was referring to them in the COVID times. So we have to make sure that we make proper use of them, and we also prevent cross-infection. So these are the masks, the gloves, and the eye protectors. And sometimes you can use the face shield if the worst comes to the worst. So we have to put them on well and also prevent cross-infections, like you don't touch here and there, Then also we do some infection control, like You have to wash your hands with soap or any other detergent, or using a sanitizer frequently, so that in case of any contact, you wash it away. Then also cleaning these surfaces which people usually touch, the walkways, the tables, the desks here and there, so that they are free from these microbes. Then at the community level, we need to make sure that the public is aware about the outbreak of the disease, the preventive measures, and how this disease can be transmitted, so that they are on alert. Then also, these very publics also help in contact tracing, because sometimes the authorities can be trying to trace the contacts, and some people don't want to disclose the information. So we need to help in the contact tracing. And then also we need to take caution during these barriers to allow the authorities to take over, because we have seen that whenever you have contact with the body fluids or tissues, whether dead or alive, you can contract the virus. So the take home is focus on prevention, because prevention has high yielding results than all the other supportive management. Thank you.